lasagna season, but not the lasagna you're thinking, bulb lasagnas. First things first, you're going to need a pot with a beautiful drainage hole in the bottom. If it hasn't got one already, you can drill one in. Then we need some crocks or some stones to place in the base of that pot to allow for further drainage so the bulbs don't get saturated. So on top of our crock, you want your first layer of soil. Now that's to fill it up to the crock line, where we'll then place our first bulb. Now our bulbs are layered in a sense of the biggest go at the base. They're going to take the longest time to come up to the top of the pot and flower. So that mascara is going to give us our first flush of colour, then our narcissus, and then our tulips finally. To start with, I'll be planting 5 tulip bulbs in this size pot. So making sure that none of them are touching one another and that there's space and airflow so they're not touching the side of the pots. Again, the next layer of compost comes on top of that, and you want to be covering them up completely before we then put our narcissus layer. So Gracie's green narcissus come in a pack of 3. I'm going to be planting 6 at least in this display. Your final layer, let's call it the cheese on top, wants to be your mascara. So Farmer Gracie packs come with 20 bulbs, so I'll be placing them all out sparingly. Again, we're not touching the edges, we don't want them touching one another. So fundamental to bulb planting, we want our flat side facing down and that pointy tip facing up towards the sky, because that is where your blooms are going to come out of. Now you just want to put a thin fine layer of compost on top, just below the surface line. Give that a good water in, and then the best part about it all is you put it somewhere in the garden, forget about it until spring, and then you get the most beautiful surprise when you absolutely forget what you've planted, if you're like me. I hope that's been helpful, and I can't wait to see this bloom to life in spring.